It's 2020, a year that will probably go down as not one of the best. But it was the year I decided to start a YouTube channel, and amazingly 1,024 of you have subscribed to the channel. So to celebrate the fact that YouTube needs one more bit to represent this channel's subscriber count, I thought I'd embrace the trope of the 1,000 sub Q&A video. So I asked some kind people to record a question that I could answer, while I embrace other tropes like unboxing and excessively long soldering montages.
Hello RetroBytes, and congratulations on making a milestone on your YouTube channel. So, I have a question for you. You recently covered the Vampire V4, which is effectively a remake of the Amiga. What machines would you like to see somebody remake now using FPGA or even using common components?
Thanks for the question there, Johnny. Right, I'm going to answer that question whilst doing a little bit of unboxing. In fact, it was Enthused 5th birthday fairly recently, and Johnny was nice enough to send some of us a little parcel in the post, so I'm going to unbox that while I answer this question. Which one would I like to remake? I'm guessing the audience can probably guess. I've covered a lot of Acorn stuff on this channel, so I'd really quite like a sort of BBC Next or sort of Vampire BBC. Yeah, I mean, quite a lot of it's been done already. This guy called Rob Coleman, he's created this wonderful thing called the Nulo, which is like an updated video ULA for the BBC. That's done with a CPLD. So there are a number of things sort of kicking around out there already. A lot of stuff with a sort of Pi tube as well. It'd be lovely to see all that sort of combined in one nice package. I mean, I'd quite fancy something styled after the Master Compact, because that's sort of my favourite form factor of BBC. But also, they kind of missed off things like the 1 megahertz bus and the tube, so it's really, really hard to upgrade. So if someone could take all like the really cool stuff that's been done for the BBC and condense it down to one machine, we could get the Sprout Network card, a little bit of Econet in there, Nuler, Beeb Scuzzy, a few of those things all bundled into one neat package. That'd be ideal for me.
Hello there, RetroBytes, and congratulations on 1,000 and something subscribers. Just ignore the cat, she's not going anywhere. You asked me to submit a question for your Q&A, so I've had a good long think, and this is my question. Actually, it's probably more than one question. So basically, question 1. Your videos all contain a ton of information. Where do you typically source all of that information from? Is it stuff you already know, or do you go looking for it? And question number 2 is, was Dizzy better on the Spectrum or the Amstrad? If you answer that question wrong, you're cancelled. That's probably enough time. Okay, thanks, bye!
Right, yeah. As to how I know these things, I'm just old, so I kind of just remember this stuff from when I was, it was current. That's really important. That's the key as to sort of how I work my way into all these things. I start with something I'm pretty familiar with, that, I used a lot as a kid, which is one of my favourite things. And then there's a lot of sort of reading around and checking the details and stuff. And I got lots of old computer magazines I can go look at, the manuals in some cases. There's a lot of details you can go back and check, and there's a ton of information out there. Archive.org's really handy for finding like old copies of trade press and stuff like that. I have been guilty of looking at Wikipedia as well, and then you go look it up somewhere else and find out that Wikipedia's wrong, and then you go back and you fix Wikipedia. And then someone else argues with you on the talk section of a Wikipedia page, and then you regret looking at Wikipedia. Right, I'm going to get myself totally cancelled over the Dizzy thing now, because I've not played Dizzy. Yeah, I never have on either of those two platforms or any other. Right, so my first computer lasted me about a day and a bit. I got it on Christmas Day, and on Boxing Day it caught fire in the living room. And the game I was trying to load at the time was Dizzy. And yeah, the little Spectrum Plus One just died and caught fire. I mean, so I've never tried to play Dizzy since, because I didn't get literally burnt by Dizzy, but the carpet got a tiny bit singed.
Good morning, it's Retro Princess here. I would like you to answer this question for me. I want you to pretend it's Saturday night and all of your numbers have come up on the lottery. It's not very original, I know, but you've won millions and millions of pounds, and you can buy your dream system and your dream game for that system. I'd like to know what you would choose for both.
Ooh, right. So if money was no object and I could just buy anything and possibly buy the house in which to house the thing, I'd go for one of those virtuality machines from the 1990s. You know, the massive great things where you essentially just strapped a pair of CRTs to your face. Essentially, you stood in the ring, you had a couple of hand controllers and an Amiga 3000 somewhere buried in the base of it to make it all go. I'd just love to have one of those things. They really fascinated me as a kid. I mean, you saw them on TV, and I never got a go on one. I know there's a museum somewhere that's got one, I think Nottingham. So I'd really like to go there once the whole pandemic thing is over and I can go and, you know, play on something. That would be awesome. But yeah, I've always really fancied the idea of having one of those. That would be great, but yeah, I think even if you've got the money, finding one would still probably be pretty difficult.
Congratulations, RetroBytes, on hitting 1,000 subs. I'm sure this is just the start of an absolutely huge channel. And so, I've got a question for you. What computer upgrade is at the top of your holy grail list?
Darn amount of stuff to unbox for this next answer, so you'll have to make do with a nice soldering montage, because every retro YouTube channel just has an excessively long soldering montage for no apparent reason. I mean, I do have some more parcels in the house, it's just, I don't want to show you what I'm getting the kids for Christmas. You know, never know, they might watch this video and it could ruin the whole thing for them. I mean, if it's just one card, I think I know what I'd go for. Right, there's this stupid 3D graphics card that was like one of the first ones. My friend Bob had it. Was it the Diamond 3D Edge or something like that? And it was weird because instead of using polygons like everyone else, it used quads instead. And Sega were like really behind this thing and ported a load of their games to like Virtual Fighter and stuff like that to use the hardware acceleration on this thing. And nobody else did. So it's like a 2D card, 3D card, and sound card all in one. And on the 3D side, it was pretty good. On the 2D side, it was pretty rubbish, actually. I mean, it didn't have a character generator on it. So if you tried to like boot into DOS, you could see the text like slowly scrolling up as it had to sort of software render every character inside the thing. Linux would take like 10 minutes to boot on this thing as the text just lagged massively behind. But when you got the 3D stuff going, it was really cool and it just worked in such a different way. And it's just, it was the first like hardware 3D card I ever saw for the PC. Even before 3DFX was a thing. Then 3DFX came out, and to be honest, the Diamond 3D had kind of already died a bit, and then 3DFX just sort of started the whole PC 3D thing in a way that they were probably hoping to do with that card and massively failed to do so. Yeah, it'd be really cool to have one of those, and actually, you could get quite a fun video out of that, I think.
Hello there, RetroBytes, and many congratulations on reaching 2 to the power 10 subscribers. Cheers! With your next video, I hope you reach 2 to the power 11. My question for you is, with all the limitless fortune you will now gain from YouTube advertising revenue, what computer would you most like to own and experience and program on in the whole world with limitless funds? Tell me that.
Ah, yes, all that filthy, filthy YouTube advertising money. I think with that, I might be able to buy a Pi Zero in about 5 years' time. No, so a different version of the question RP asked. Yes, this one's not about games. It's about what machine would I want to program on. Oh, yeah. So if money was no object, and you know, for programming purposes and just to play with it, I'd really love to lay my hands on a Cray. I mean, those things were incredible. They were not quite like any other machine at the time. You got the whole vector processing thing going on. And come on, it had like seating built in around the outside of it, and amazing cases that were shaped like a giant C. Or yeah, they're just incredible looking machines. And I always wanted to sort of lay my hands on one and play with it because I got no idea what it's like to develop for that machine, or kind of what it was like to use either. You just would see these things as just these, hey, look, we've got a supercomputer. You know, apparently it's doing very important scientific stuff. So yeah, I'd really, if money was no object and space was no object and I could magically find one, then yeah, I'd definitely like to have a play with one of those. Well, that about wraps it up for our 1024 subscriber video. If you've made it all the way through to the end, thank you for watching, and hopefully the answers didn't bore you too much. I'd like to thank everyone who posed the question for me. Mr. Johnny Blanchard of Enthused, Rose Tinted Spectrum, Retro Princess, Watto Snorkers, GouldFish On Games. Yeah, thank you very much for your questions there. If you enjoyed this video, why not share it with people that you like and think might like this too? And of course, if you're not a subscriber and you've seen this thing and thought, ooh, I could be a subscriber, then feel free to click the subscribe button and then you will be a subscriber. You can even click the little bell thingy so the subscription button does the thing that you wanted it to.